Hey everybody, Pastor Nick here, and joining you tonight live from my home here, home office. And I just wanted to give you guys an update on our church's response to the COVID-19 situation. I'm going to go ahead and share this video while I wait for some people to join as well. And, right now, as many of you have probably already heard, we are moving in Weld County to the new Code Red, which is a little bit confusing because we had Code Red before used to be the worst. And so according to Colorado's dial, they've added a color, which is purple. That's now the worst. And Code Red is maybe like a dark orange. So you might know that our church is in Weld County. Many of our church members live in Boulder County. Boulder County went into Code Red tonight at 5 p.m. And Weld County went from being in yellow to actually skipping over orange and going to red, but it doesn't come into effect until Sunday night. So Sunday at 5 p.m., which is different than Boulder County. So here's what that means for us as a church. It means that this Sunday we're going to proceed as usual, since we will still be in code yellow, and it's also quite short notice for us to change things really fast. And so we are going to proceed this Sunday as usual with our services live or in person and online at 9 and 11 a.m. Now, we are going to be changing a few things. Not this Sunday though, but in the subsequent Sundays. So starting Sunday, November 29th, that's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, we're going to be adding a third service. Now let me just start out by saying this. The reason we're adding a third service is because we have a few imperatives which are given to us by the scriptures. And those imperatives are for us to love our neighbors and to love the Lord. So to love the Lord with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. These are the two great commandments. All of the other commandments are wrapped up in these two. And so, we're looking at the numbers just like all of you are, and we realize this COVID situation is very serious, and we want to respond as such because it is absolutely serious. And so, just looking at Weld County's numbers for beds of people who are in ICU, and they're over 90% full. And so the last thing we want is for anyone to get sick at one of our church services. One of the ways to prevent that from happening is for us to space out a little bit more than we have been. Now, until now, we've been in compliance with the guidelines, but and we want to honor God by honoring the authorities He's put in place over us. Primarily, our desire is to not see anybody get sick. Now, here's an interesting thing. Thankfully, we have not had anyone get sick by coming to any of our church services, we're so glad for that. The other thing that's really interesting, I just saw a report yesterday that showed all of the outbreaks that have happened over the last few weeks in Colorado. And here's what was so interesting is that none of the outbreaks were tied to churches, which is really great. And we're glad that none of them have been tied to our church. And we want that to continue. We want to love our neighbors by taking precautions, and so that's what we're going to be doing. Now, the way we're going to be doing that is that we're going to be adding a third service, and that again starts not this Sunday, November 22nd, because the regulations don't even go into effect until Sunday night. So we are going to begin the new schedule starting on November 29th. Now, our hope with this is that it will still provide, by having three services, it will provide a space for people for people to come and worship in person, and yet do so in a way that recognizes that the virus is spreading, and we want to love our neighbors, and we want to give people a little more room to spread out. So here's what that's going to look like. We're going to have an 8 o'clock service. That's the one we're really adding. Then we're going to shift our 9 o'clock to 9:30. So it's going to be 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11 o'clock. Now, 9:30 is going to be the only service which will have next-gen classes. And again, those next-gen classes right now is kindergarten through 5th grade. Youth group will continue to meet on Sunday nights. They're still within the range of what can meet safely. So we will have those classes. So that's only at the 9:30 service. So here's what we're asking people to do. If you've been coming to the 9 o'clock service, which has really been a pretty full service, we're going to ask that you choose, maybe still come to the 9:30 service, but we want to make sure that service is available for families who need the next gen classes. And so maybe consider coming to the 8 o'clock service or the 11 o'clock service. One thing that we want you to know, and we hope that maybe this will actually provide the opportunity for even more people to attend church who haven't been because they've been concerned about numbers of people and aerosols being spread and things like that. Well, one of our hopes is that by adding the early service, that would be called, we were talking about it with our leaders today, we want to call it our COVID extra friendly service, because all of our services should be COVID friendly, but we want to call that our COVID extra friendly service. And here's why. If you don't know, we have a professional cleaning company that comes in every Saturday night to deep clean our building and to make sure that things are, not only the trash is taken out, but to make sure things are nice and clean. And also, there will be no aerosols in the air from prior services. And so the 8 o'clock service is going to be our COVID extra friendly service. So if you are at risk or you're sensitive or sensitive to it and that you're worried about getting it, maybe you have asthma or maybe you have other underlying conditions, consider coming to that 8 o'clock service, because that service, there will be nobody in there before you, and we will be taking extra precautions. I see Josie there is excited to come to 8 o'clock service. Great, Josie, because one of our concerns, to be honest with you guys, is that, that we'll have like 5 people at the 8 o'clock service and then the same number of, packed house for the 9:30 service. And so we would love it if people would spread out, and maybe some people who haven't been able to come, this will create an opportunity for them to come. Again, our goal is to spread out and create more room. And also maybe this is still a way that we're casting a net and giving people the opportunity to come to church who want to. And we do believe that it's not just a preference issue with gathering physically, but there's actually a theological reason for doing so. The word church in the Bible is, in the New Testament, is the word ecclesia. In the Old Testament too as well. The Hebrew word for congregation is a gathering. And so we do want to not neglect the gathering of ourselves together. And at the same time, we absolutely want to honor those who say, you know what, it's not safe for me to come in person, or I'm concerned because I have underlying conditions, or there are people in my life who I love and I don't want to put them at risk. We want to encourage you to still continue. We're going to be providing online services still, just as we have been. It's very likely that we're going to be doing the online services only at 9:30 and 11. One of the issues that we face as well with going to 3 services is volunteers. And yeah, I see Gina, and if you guys are watching, feel free to leave me a comment. I'll be happy to address those right now. Gina, we were just thinking about you and praying for you today, Gina, just so you know. But she says, I so wish I could go to church. I have no immune system. For those of you who don't know, Gina has been struggling with leukemia for over a year now. So Gina, we're so glad that we can provide online church services for you. And I would encourage you that, the online, watching church online really is church. You can truly worship the Lord, and you can interact online. One of the things that I enjoy seeing when I log into the online church services are that people are interacting with each other, and they are leaving comments, and they're responding to the message, they're responding to worship and interacting with each other. That is so good. And I think we would all agree that while the digital cannot replace the physical, it is still valuable, and we're still thankful for it. So that's going to be our response. Again, that starts on November 29th. We encourage you to choose a service to go to, and let's spread out between those services. Initially we thought about what if we need to add some sort of registration system, but then we decided against doing that, and we decided we may do that, but first we want to see how it goes for a couple weeks, and then we may add a registration service for the 9:30 service, as that tends to be the most popular. And so we may do that, but initially we're not going to. We're just going to leave it to you guys, ask you to spread out among those 3 services so that we can love each other and spur each other on to love and good works. And you know what? Here's another part of this, is that we as a staff had been talking about and thinking about a desire to have 3 services anyway. Now there's obviously logistical challenges with that, and that's part of the reason why we've held off. But now we've said, you know what, for so many reasons, it seems like this is the right time and the right move to make, and it seems like a loving action for us to do as well. And so that is our goal: love our neighbors and love the Lord. And so, guys, if you have any questions, please email us, info@whitefieldschurch.com, info@whitefieldschurch.com, or you can call us 303-775-3485. And hey, just want you to know, if you're out there, that we love you and we love the Lord, and we're looking forward to worshiping Him together. I see Rosemary, my wife, just posted something I thought was really good, actually. She said, looking forward to stepping up to the challenge in these times. Absolutely. These are challenging times. They're difficult. And but you know what? I've also, here's just, parenthetically and personally, I've thought about, hey, these times are going to come to an end. There will be a time. And there's part of me that looks forward to the end of this. And I'm very glad, because it means that less people are going to be getting sick and dying, truly. But also there's part of me that says, you know what? There's something about the struggle. There's something about the challenge that is so healthy for us as Christians, so good for our faith. As we press into the Lord, as we seek Him for wisdom, myself and our elders tonight, we met, and that's what we did. We sought the Lord, we prayed, we asked for wisdom from God. There's something so healthy about putting yourself in that place where you're dependent upon God for direction, for guidance, for strength, to meet needs where you say, man, this is going to put a strain on our volunteers. And it's not going to be easy to do 3 services, but we're committed to doing it. And so we're going to need to depend on the Lord for the strength and the resources we need. That's a good place to be. And I just want you guys to know out there, those of you who have been sick, those of you who have loved ones who are sick, those of you who have loved ones at risk, those who have lost jobs because of this, or maybe potentially will lose jobs, especially as, I know that food service is a concern for a lot of people as they go into the red zone now. So we want you to know that we're praying for you. We started this pantry, it's really doing well, and we really want to provide for people who are in need during this time. So if that's you, or if it's someone you know, please reach out to us. And maybe, maybe if someone's too shy, maybe you can be the one who refers them and takes them things. And we just want you to know that we love you, we're praying for you, and we are seeking to honor God and reach out with love and with truth and with blessing during this time. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening.